What's going on, everyone? So Brian Windhorst recently on a podcast said this. I will say this. I do think LeBron has an interest in playing with Kyrie Irving again. I think he likes the idea of playing with Kyrie, the concept of playing with Kyrie and Anthony Davis. I have long said the best big man pairing that LeBron's ever had as far as pure fit is Anthony Davis. I believe the best guard pairing LeBron ever had is Kyrie Irving. Now, Windhorst is definitely right about two things. One, I do believe that the best guard pairing he ever had is Kyrie Irving, and I do believe that the best center or big man pairing that he's ever had is Anthony Davis, without a doubt. I think that's the best guard, best center that he has had his entire career. Kyrie Irving would have been perfect on the Lakers. I was a big advocate for it for a long time. I mean, in many ways, I grew my YouTube career on the back of Kyrie Irving potentially going to Lakers last year, right? That's how I got started. And that became a huge thing. And on numerous occasions, it looked like, oh, he was going. I mean, there were reports that said it's happening. He is going to the Lakers and he's going to go play with LeBron James. He wants to team up with LeBron James. Kyrie was making it about as clear as possible and all that stuff. The ship has sailed. It has. And I mean, it sailed for a while. I've mentioned it. I've talked about it. I thought it was happening. I was one of those people that was like, hey, it's a matter of when, not if. We just got to be patient. And the Lakers had several opportunities to acquire him, and it just never happened, right? It never really worked. The Nets never wanted to trade him to the Lakers. And as soon as he went to Dallas, that was pretty much the nail in the coffin. Now, there was a possibility that maybe he came. Dallas offered him, not the full max, but pretty close, more than anyone else could, and he took it. Now, could there be some sliver of hope out there? Sure. Like if, let's say Dallas completely implodes and falls apart and they are terrible. And they're like, we just gave Kyrie a lot of money and we are not good and we are stuck with him long term. Now, if that happens, I think the Lakers might be the only team that would trade for him. Like with the contract that Kyrie got, I think that is it. Like I do. I don't think anybody else would do that. The only way that Kyrie Irving would come to Lakers is if Dallas is an absolute disaster. If Dallas is just an absolute wreck, then yes, I could see Dallas calling up the Lakers and going, hey, what do you think of a Kyrie for, D'Lo and whatever? Because D'Lo could opt out. You could clear the books. And even if he didn't, it's a less year. Here's the thing, though. I don't, unless it's like, in just mega collapse, like crazy. I don't think it happens at the trade deadline. I think that they at least give it this year to see how it looks. And maybe next offseason, if things are going bad, maybe Dallas looks to maybe move Kyrie Irving, right? And calls the Lakers and says, hey, give us whatever, give us Shafino and, D'Lo and whatever for Kyrie. And maybe that's something that they look at if it's not working. Or if if Luka says something, right? Maybe Luka's like, hey, I don't like him. I don't like this pairing. You need to get off of him, get rid of him. Because again, the market would be very slim. So is it possible that at some point Kyrie Irving plays for the Lakers? Sure. Is it going to happen? Most likely not, right? I don't believe anything is 0%. Like so many people are always like, you always hear, oh, that'll never happen. There's a 0%. Like really, this is sports we're talking about, right? This is sports. Like people say that about everything, right? Oh, there's a 0% chance that Kevin Durant would ever go to the Golden State Warriors. Like, why would he do that? Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? He was in a Golden State Warrior jersey, right? Like, there's just so many things that happens in the NBA. There's no way this team would beat this team, and guess what? There's no way Miami will make it to the NBA final. Guess what? They're in the NBA final. The Lakers are suck. They have a 0.002% chance of making even the play-in. They have no hope, and all of a sudden they're in the Western Conference Finals. This is sports, right? So to say something is never going to happen is just silly and foolish. Is it extremely unlikely? Yes. Why won't the media let it go though? Right? Like that's a thing. And like that's I mean, to be fair, you can make an argument like, well, Tyler, why are you making a video about it then? And it's like because it is a point of topic, which is why I think that they're even talking about it. It's just like it's slow news right now, not really much going on. Does LeBron James want Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis on the same team with him? Of course he does. Absolutely. I mean, LeBron has done everything but hold up a boombox at Kyrie's window. Like, he absolutely wants Kyrie Irving on the Lakers. Do I think that Kyrie wants to be on the Lakers? Sure. But he wants his money. And I've said this before. Every opportunity he has had to get what he wants, he's chosen the money instead. He's clearly about the money, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Get your bag, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Kyrie has had his chances to go to Lakers. If Kyrie wanted the Lakers and more than anything else, guess where Kyrie Irving would be right now? The Lakers. He would. The Lakers could have given him $17 million a year before this whole offseason started and still got most of the guys that they got on the Lakers roster. Right? Like, so the Lakers absolutely could have gotten Kyrie Irving, but he didn't want to take that. Instead, he got $40 million a year or whatever it is. And my thing is like, how long is this going to be? Because it's going to be a narrative again. If Dallas is terrible, right? If Dallas is bad, guess what the narrative is going to be? Should Dallas trade Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving heading back to Kyrie Irving wants out of Dallas and the Lakers are his only destination. Like, this isn't going to be over. It's not. It's not. Now, could it die down a little bit? Sure. The only way I think that the Kyrie to the Lakers narrative just completely dies is if Kyrie and Luka are a really good pairing and they are having some success. Even if, like, let's say they're like the eighth seed and they're a play-in team, but Kyrie and Luka are really good together, and it's just like, okay, they just don't have enough around those two, then I don't see any, I just think it'd be silly, right? But if they're like awkward and clunky like they were last season, granted, again, small sample size, it's not like they had a full season together to figure it out. But if they kind of are like that, where it's just like kind of you go, I go, Luka doesn't really seem to know how to play with another star. The Mavs are actually better with Luka, or actually better with Kyrie on the court than with Luka on the court. Like, if it's something like that, then yes, I don't think that this narrative will die. I think that this is going to continue to be a conversation, right? Because we know LeBron wants Kyrie. We know Kyrie wants LeBron, right? I mean, there were all the talks about Kyrie's talk to LeBron and trying to recruit LeBron to the Mavs. I think it's more, I mean, it's getting to the point where it's more likely LeBron goes to Dallas and plays with Kyrie than Kyrie comes to the Lakers. But stranger things have happened. If Dallas is terrible, Kyrie to the Lakers could be a real possibility. Because if, for whatever reason, any reason, assuming as long as LeBron's on the roster, like if LeBron leaves after this year and Kyrie does become available, the Lakers aren't going to go trade for him. But if, let's say it's terrible and it's a disaster this year and they get to the next offseason and LeBron opts in and Kyrie's available, I wouldn't be shocked that Kyrie is coming to Lakers, because I don't think anyone else would trade for him. I don't. Not on his multi-year contract, not after Dallas. Like, Dallas is Kyrie's one chance. Kyrie has to make Dallas work. Otherwise, he might be in a big heap of trouble. Like, this contract might end up being his last contract, right? Like, if Dallas ends up flopping with Kyrie, that might be it for Kyrie. Needs this to work desperately if he wants to have more longevity in this league. And so if he does, I imagine he's going to figure it out. He's going to be on his best behavior, and I think he'll make it work. But if something crazy happens and Dallas just isn't very good at all, which I'm not super sold on Dallas's just talent and roster, right? Like I think Kyrie and Luka, if they can figure it out and they can make it work, I think that would be I think that could be a really good pairing, right? I don't know if it's a championship level pairing without the right pieces around. Like, I don't know if just like Kyrie and Luka with like a bunch of like just random role guys can get you to a championship. I don't think that's the case. But I do think with Kyrie and Luka, if it works, can win you some games, have some success during the playoffs, and with a solid core around them could end up winning an NBA championship, right? If they can make it work. I'm not super sold on the roster and the talent around him, right? Like Tim Hardaway Jr., there's already talks about them trading him and trying to pick up Bojan Bogdanovic, which, I mean, if they could get Bojan, that could help. That would be nice. But like, Rashard Holmes, solid pickup, but I don't think he's like this huge impactful guy. Grant Williams, I think will add and help defensively, but he's only one guy. I don't think that's like a huge upgrade. They still got Powell and Josh Green and Max Kleber. They have some solid pieces. Oh, and who is Jaden Hardy? I forgot about him. But like they have some solid pieces, but they're not like, I don't look at their roster and go, man, Dallas is a championship contender. Watch out for Dallas. Dallas is the team that's scary, y'all. Like, I don't think that's, I don't. So if it's a disaster, I could see it happening. But they need to, like, the media needs to just let it go. Just let it go. Because if that becomes a thing, sure, then talk about it. I'll talk about it. Like, if Kyrie becomes available, we're going to talk about it, right? But until that happens, it's like, why? Like, why are we doing this again, right? Is Kyrie to the Lakers going to be a thing every year until LeBron leaves the Lakers? Is that what this is going to be? Probably. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think Kyrie ever ends up a Laker? You still holding out hope? Do you think, no, it's over, it's a wrap, stop talking about it? Do you think, like, hey, no, you're right, like if Dallas does start to implode, look out for Kyrie getting traded? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know.